welcome to the first episode of the Creaky Pines podcast, which is all about knitting, sewing, and just some general craftiness in my life. So again, I just want to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy day to stop by and view this. So I just wanted to start off with talking about what I'm trying to get out of this podcast. It's not to become YouTube famous, because that's a bit silly, but rather to hold myself accountable for actually completing more projects. I found that last year my knitting and my sewing mojo wasn't really where I wanted it to be, so I figured if I actually document what I'm doing and feel like I have somebody to hold myself accountable to, I will actually get better with my crafting. So again, thank you all for being here today, and thank you for holding me accountable for my projects. So you can also find me on Instagram at Creaky Pines, and on Ravelry as Bethany Meeker, which, by the way, my name is Bethany. It's nice to meet y'all. Yeah, eventually I might actually get this intro to a semi-professional level, but we'll see. So yeah, introduction's done. Let's go ahead and dive into what I've been knitting, and that's been, what is it? It's June, hold on. It's June 25th, and I finally have finished projects that I've been working on all year. So I am by no means a fast knitter whatsoever, but I'm super excited about this one because this is my first cardigan. I've only been knitting since 2015, and usually that's been a lot of really small projects like fingerless gloves, scarves, hats for family. Nothing really for myself so far, but I'm super excited about this. So without further ado, this is, oops, a little floppy there, my Laine's cardigan by Hoge Locatelli. I am, oh my gosh, currently obsessed with her patterns, which I feel is a normal state for a lot of knitters, but oh my goodness. I've just been wanting a really nice, cozy cardigan that, you know, I made, not one that I bought at the store. So yeah, this one finally came off the needles last week. It was just such a joy to knit up. It was my first time doing a button band, or picking up stitches around the button band and I think it's like a shawl collar, which, oh my goodness, that took me a little bit of work. I had to redo that one once, which took me a whole afternoon. Again, not a very fast knitter. The only thing I would change is I need different buttons. The buttons I have on here are a bit too small, and they don't fit in there. They like to fall out, which is okay because right now I really can't close it anyway because I am 38 weeks pregnant, so not a whole lot of things can cross the belly, which is fine. It'll be nice and cozy for fall and winter. So there is a little bit of backstory behind this yarn, which, by the way, is Fezza yarn. It's their organically hand-dyed Harvest, 100% extra fine superwash merino in their cranberry colorway. I also picked up doing this project for a wooden nest natural dye knit-along. I myself am not a dyer. I've attempted one skein so far, or I guess the technical term is a hank. But that, I don't think that one worked in my favor. So, but I thankfully had this yarn. It was originally bought 2 years ago for a different project. It was my first attempt at a shrug. and I got it done. I blocked it out and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. But I love the yarn. The color is absolutely fantastic. You can see this is how much I have left. It's just a really fun tonal pink or corally color. I love it. Where was I going? Oh, I hated the shrug. Not the design. The design was absolutely beautiful. I was just such a very new knitter, and I didn't really understand, I guess, the concepts of constructing an actual garment, and yeah, did not like it. So it sat in my closet for a good year and a half, and I finally decided, you know, it's time to do something with that yarn. It's salvageable. I can actually do something with it. So I frogged it completely, which was so satisfying, and made it into something that I actually really enjoy. So I actually found this pattern in the first issue of the Laine magazine. I guess there's a debate on how to pronounce that magazine. At first I was stuck with Laine magazine, but after watching Kristen on Yarngasm actually give the correct pronunciation, I think I'll go ahead with Laine magazine. So super excited. Again, can't wait till the fall so I can actually wear this, because right now I'm having heat strokes and it's almost July. So it's a bit toasty for that. So that is my first finished object. I'll go ahead and try to put in some clips of me actually wearing it. Excuse the belly. So I actually have two finished projects. The second one was kind of for instant gratification, because I have several cardigans that I've been slowly working on, and I just needed something done now. So yeah, I have my, I believe, what is it called? Looking at my notes. Share a Cup fingerless gloves. So the you can call it a coffee mug or a tea mug. Design actually came from, let's see here, Carrie Smith's blog on Serenity Farms. So all that's going to be linked below in the show notes. Yeah, she put out a free pattern. Hers was actually, it could be done as like a full mitten, or she also had a pattern on there for fingerless gloves. All I did was I just took the colorwork motif and applied it to a really basic fingerless glove design that I've, after many attempts, finally got to fit my hand. Again, there's a long story behind me and my fingerless mitts. It was one of the first projects that I did when I started knitting, because my hands get cold all the time, especially when I'm typing at work. So I just really wanted something over my hands, and I just thought they were absolutely beautiful. It's taken me a while to finally get a pair for myself. The first pair I made had beautiful cabling on it. I was so excited, but I didn't understand gauging or swatches, and it was too big for me. So I ended up gifting those to my mom, who wears them at work while she's working in a nursing home to keep her hands warm. The second pair I was doing, I think it was called the Nalu, maybe Nalu. I'll put something here for that design, and oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. However, again, too big, and we were getting time for Christmas, and I was a college student at the time, so I didn't really have a lot of money for buying a bunch of presents, so that ended up getting gifted to a family member. One more time I tried the Nalu pattern again, and they fit like a, excuse the pun, like a glove. And I had the sizing to where I wanted. I had to take out some stitches because it was too loose around my knuckle bones, because I kind of have small hands. and I love them so much, wore them all the time. And then my puppy ate them. I was very, very sad. That was last winter where I could really have used them, that he ate them. So I was very sad about that. I thought, oh my gosh, I am never going to have a pair of fingerless gloves for myself. And then I came across that pattern through the Woolen Homestead podcast with Tiffany and Ethan, and I was just like, that's it. I have stash yarn. I need something to do quick and get off the needles, and voila, my mittens were born. So hopefully I can keep these away from the puppy, who's a bit bigger now. His name's Sherlock. And maybe I can finally wear these winter, but super, super excited about them. And it's just such a beautiful colorwork design, so yay. All right, so, oh, the yarns that I used were stashed from a different cardigan that I've been working on, which I will show you in a little bit. But it's the, let me see if I can, all three colors are the Jagger Spun organic wool. They're green line, 100% organic wool. Yeah, but the colorways that I used for that were wheat, twig, and alabaster. No, excuse me. So yeah, just a bunch of stash yarn that I had left over, which made me very happy because I didn't have to go, oh my goodness, the hiccups. I didn't have to go out and buy yarn, which is nice to do every once in a while. So yeah, those are my finished objects. Hip hip hooray, so excited. So moving on to works in progress, or my whips. So let's see here. So last Sunday, which was, so I guess not yesterday, but today's Monday, Father's Day Sunday, so the 17th, I cast on another Hoge Locatelli. This time it's her worsted Boxy, which looks like it's going to be super cozy and would fit my post-baby body. Who knows what that's going to look like. And I'm using the Malabrigo Rios in their peachy colorway. So right now I'm just working on the body. I have at least 17 inches before I have to split off and do anything with the sleeves and the shoulder construction. But oh my gosh, apparently I am just, you'll see later, I'm in a peachy kind of mood. Usually I'm more for like greens and blues, but right now it's all about the pinks and peaches. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about this. Another reason why I wanted to cast this on is because I figured, probably naively, that when I'm in the early stages of labor, I can at least get some easy knitting done, or I take it to the hospital with me. So after the baby, while maybe the baby's sleeping and the hubby's taking a rest, I can still be productive. So yeah, just a nice mindless knit right now. Everybody needs one of those, especially with all the color work that's in the other project that I've been working on. So yeah, I am absolutely loving this. Again, this is Hoge Locatelli's worsted Boxy, or Boxy worsted, whichever way it states. So I'm very, very excited about it. I also have a cute little, I don't know if it's a llama or an alpaca, little stitch marker on here that I picked up from my local yarn store. So I'm very, very excited about this. And I am alternating between two skeins right now. So that way there's no color pooling, just some nice fun peachy tones. It kind of reminds me of orange sherbet. And it's also living in my alpaca bag, or my llama bag, that I whipped up about a month ago because I was in the mood to cast on all the things, and I didn't have the project bag, the amount of project bags that I needed. I had some things living in totes and plastic bags, and I thought This is no way for my projects to live. So I made a cute little drawstring bag. Okay, so that was my first works in progress. The other one, which is also living in another project bag that I made. Again, all these fabrics are just from Joann's that I've picked up on sale. This is me just trying out a zipped and fully lined project bag. A lot of this was either, this yellow was stash fabric that I had, and I picked up this deer pattern as a remnant at Joann's, so I'm very excited about that. But in here has been my massive colorwork project that I have been working on since, slowly but surely, since last October. It is the Damejakka Loppa fleece cardigan by Pinneguri. Yeah, it's, let's see here, last October I was able to get the yoke done, and then I did that in like 2 weeks, and I just kind of stopped. I just kind of put it in timeout, so to speak. Don't know why. Again, I probably just lost my knitting mojo, but since I've pulled it out, when did I pull it back out? In April. I've been able to get the whole body done. So you can see these are some fun colors. Again, this is the first cardigan I've ever casted on, and it's my first colorwork project, so this is exciting. And I got all the way down to the bottom, the ribbing, and now I am working on the sleeves. Never realized how much I don't like sleeves until you have a couple cardigans on, when you're essentially on Sleeve Island at the same time between this one and the Laine's cardigan. Oh my goodness, so much sleeve. But I've slowly been working on this one because it still requires me to do all the flea or the little teal colors. And I have a cute little progress keeper on here. This is one that I actually made just by picking up a charm at Hobby Lobby and just putting it on a lobster claw and a ring. So easy peasy, lemon squeezy, or in this case, pineapple. Super cute. So yeah, oh my gosh. Most of the yarns that are in this cardigan are also from Jagger Spun. It's their green line wool. Again, I'm using alabaster in it. I have the twig, the wheat, and this tealy color is their topaz, I want to say. And then I just have, I think, 2 other colorways in here that aren't Jagger Spun, but again, that information will be on my Ravelry page, which is linked down below. So yay. Eventually, I'm hoping I can have this done by this October. We'll see. Oh, and it also involves my first go at sticking. Oh my goodness. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably have a meltdown. I might sob a little bit before I finally take scissors to it, but you have to break a couple eggs to make an omelet, I suppose. So, but this has been really fun until I got to the sleeves. But it'll get done, I promise. So those are my works in progress. Yay! Get this shoved back into my bag. All right. Okay, so I've talked pretty much about my sewing because it's been my project bags. I also made a little notions bag out of the same material from my other deer bag. Again, I just needed something to keep everything together. So I have a measuring tape, some scrap yarns, double pointed needles, stitch markers, progress keepers, just a little bit of everything in here just to keep myself organized. And it's just so adorable. I think I whipped this up in maybe an hour. Like I said, I'm not a fast knitter and I'm not a fast sewist as well. apparently I just like to take my sweet time. So with that being said, I kind of want to talk about this project that I'm planning. Normally I'm very quick to just cast on all the things like I've been doing. Again, those are just some projects that I've really been focusing on in the last week, as not to mention some of the others that I have going that are just kind of sat to the wayside right now. But I'm really excited about this one. Apparently I'm ready to try an actual sweater and not just a cardigan, which I think has a little more wiggle room to it. So yeah, once I finally get something else off the needles, that's my goal, is to get something else on the needles before I put something else on, is to do the, let's see what's it called, the Branches and Buds Pullover by Cary, Bostick, Hoge. It's so cute. I'll put up some pictures here of what it looks like on Ravelry. But what I'm really excited about is not only am I going to be doing another colorwork project, something a little more simple than the Damejakka Loppa. Oh, these darn hiccups. But also it has more of a boat neckline, which I'm very excited about because I feel that flatters me a little bit more since I kind of have a bit broader shoulders right now. So, but this is the first time I've taken swatching seriously, and let's see here. And it's kind of kicked my butt a little bit because I didn't realize how many times I was going to swatch. So it appeared that third time was the charm. So I started off with, let's see here. I did a cool little trick that I learned about putting knots on the string, and the number of knots determines the size. Let's see here. That one is 4. Okay. So I started off with a, what is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I started off with a 6 US size needle, and I was off by 1 stitch each time, about a quarter of an inch, and I was like, nope, not good enough. So I went down to a 1, 2, 3, 4, to a size 5. Again, still off by a quarter of an inch by about 1 stitch. Was not happy with that. Finally, I got tired of doing a bunch of ribbing, or not ribbing, garter stitch, because this is my 3rd one. I went down to a size 4, and it was perfect. Oh my goodness. So I'm very, very excited about that. Some successful swatching. Again, apparently I am just loving this Jaggers one. Sport weight. Yeah, sport weight yarn, because I got more of the alabaster for this one too, because I got these colors to go with it. So the main body is going to be the alabaster, which I've talked about quite a bit today. But I also got the Nuna, which is a luxurious merino wool and silk blended with bamboo sourced viscose. So I'm very excited. Let's see here. It's shade 0146, dye lot 66, and it's spun in Peru. How exciting is that? And it's just so soft, and it has just a little bit of a shine to it, because of the silk and the bamboo probably. Picked this up at Knit Night last week, and the girls were kind of laughing at me because, again, it's another peachy pink color, which I was a little worried that it would kind of blend into my skin too much, especially with the peachy for the Boxy sweater. But I don't care. I'm gonna wear it anyway. I am very excited. So again, I am waiting very patiently to get something else knitted before I start on this one. Plus, again, post baby body, who knows, and I really, really want to wear this sweater for quite a while. So I'm very excited about my project planning there. So that's So that's going to be the next project when I finally get to that. Let's see here. So let's move on to stash enhancement. So that was kind of part of the stash enhancement. And then the other one was 2 publications. So of course, with my obsession with the Laine magazine, I had to get the 5th one that came out. Their pastel color, their pastel issue. And I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about the Brenneman cardigan. I love how it has the pockets on the front. I'm one of those girls that gets super stoked when my dress or my skirt has pockets on it. And I also have the Midsummer Rose shawl on standby as well. Very, very excited. Very beautiful. And this publication is just so wonderful to begin with, because not only does it give you all these great knitting patterns by all these designers, but it also interviews these designers, gives them profiles, so you can actually see more than, I guess, a little bit what's going on behind the scene, behind their wonderful patterns, or yarn store owners, or, you know, it's just a great way to really get to know the community a little bit more as well. But I have all the issues save one. I'm waiting for them to reprint issue number 2. I'm very excited about them because there's really a shawl pattern in there that I absolutely want. So, whew, we will see. Again, these are not exactly the the cheapest kind of publications, which is fine because it's more like reading a little book anyway. And they're all just sitting on my shelf above my computer. Anyway, moving on to the next stash enhancement, the knit and sew uniform. So this is a build your own cardigan, build your own tunic adventure kind of thing. So yeah, the cardigan pattern is by Matter, and the tunic pattern is by Green Line Studio. So I'm very, very excited about this. Yeah, here is a picture of the tunic style that I do want to do. So short sleeve, kind of more boat necky. It's just, I think it's just so pretty, just so flattering. And let's see here. So there's so many options that you can do to customize your cardigan and your tunic. So that's one that I really like. Again, I have other projects on the books, but these will be done as well. Because I guess another goal that I want to do with this podcast is not only to push myself to be consistently creative, but to actually build a wardrobe that I really enjoy and would wear all the time. So yeah, so that is stash enhancements, which is awesome. So a little bit of chit chat. If you care to stick around and learn a little bit about what's going on in my life, like I said, I am 38 weeks pregnant, and because we are a family of procrastinators, we finally have the nursery kind of finished. The crib is up, the new floor is done, the walls are painted, the crib, I think I already said the crib is put together. But yeah, it's taken us a little bit, but that's okay. We still have 2 weeks till what we've affectionately called B-Day, or baby day. Yeah, so that's really it. I just have a couple more days of work, and then I am off for my lovely maternity leave. Who knows how long that's going to be, but that's okay. It'll be nice. So again, I just want to thank you all for stopping by and just listening to me talk about what's been going on in my life and my crafting with knitting and sewing. Again, you'll be able to find all the show notes down below. Links to my Ravelry, to my Instagram, which again, you can find me at Creaky Pines. Maybe later I will give you guys the origin story of that name, which is kind of amusing for my husband and I. Long story, we'll we'll get to that later. Maybe use that as a teaser, as a cliffhanger for you guys to come back. At this point, we would like to try to make this a weekly podcast. Again, we'll see, especially with the baby. Yeah, so again, thank you so much for stopping by. This has been a fun morning project, and I will see you guys later. Happy knitting!